Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. We're not doing a Christmas one this time, we're just doing one that we pulled out of our backsides. I'm your host as always, Rick. Joining me equally as always is Devon.
We weren't doing any Christmas-themed ones this year for retros.
Okay, yeah, I mean we're doing kind of like year-endy stuff as our next one at least, so...
yeah, I guess we're kind of in the middle of two year-ending ones, but Christmas was never the plan. We celebrate Kwanzaa on the Nonsense Review.
I'll just keep giving out these pamphlets.
I've been giving out these pamphlets for 300 years.
But before we get into what we're actually doing today, which is the Pokemon Waifu tier list, we're going to go with the good old traditional nonsense asinine hypotheticals. What have you got for me today?
Very quickly, when Rick says tier list, he means top 5.
Yeah, it's top 5. It's top 5. We're not doing a full-on tier list, we're just doing top 5. A personal tier list, if you will.
But yes, my question is pretty simple, and it's semi on the theme.
Mm-hmm.
What Pokemon would you least want to become real, excluding legendaries because they're world enders?
Ooh, because the annoying thing is half of the ones that you immediately go for are actually useful. So like coughing and muck, they don't just have the poison in them; they just like pump it out as they just like consume it as well.
I mean, this is your answer, Rick. You could be as beneficial to mankind as you want, or just be like, I don't like that thing; it freaked me out.
Fuck Bronzong. Yeah, fuck Bronzong. Let's stop Bronzong from existing.
Well, fair enough. So, any particular reason you just don't like it? There's
out of 24 Pokemon in the Gen 4 Elite Four, 63 of them are Bronzong.
Are they?
Or so it feels. I think one of the guys has got 2 of them, and it just really rubs me up the wrong way. Because back then, its only weakness was dealt with by one of its 2 abilities, and you didn't know which one, and it fucked me off. So Bronzong can get fucked. Nowadays, you can just hit it with Ghost or Dark, and you're good to go. But yeah, fuck that bell. Metagross did it cooler.
It did. Oh god, Metagross is so fucking cool.
It is, and but yeah, that's my one. Fuck Bronzong. How about you? What's going to be your Pokemon that you do not want to become real?
Drowsy / Hypno, because it would immediately be used for evil.
Oh yes, and not even just used for evil; it will use itself for evil.
I've seen enough Dojins to know what Hypnos do.
Yep.
And that's all I got to say about that. Rick, what's your question?
My question today is, my actual question is going to take place after the list is done, because I've essentially got 2 questions today, and neither of them are that good. But my other one today is, we're doing Pokemon Waifus. Who's going to be, gun to your head, you have to pick a husbando. Who are you picking? I've
forgotten his name. I want to say Grusha.
The
ice Pokemon trainer from Paldea.
Yep, absolutely. To the point that before they clarified that he was male, he just got looted up so much, and then when they clarified he was male, they looted him up just as much.
Well, the thing is the very first hentai artist that drew him was just like, I win, I got it first, and drew him with massive tits, and then turns out he's a he, and he's like, the artist was just like, I have made an error.
Yep.
Here's actually one of the problems with picking a husbando from Pokemon, and that is 9/10 of them are incredibly manly men, and the other 10th are arguably children.
Yeah. We know Grusha, he's a retired snowboarder, so he's at least of age.
Oh yeah, he's got to be at least 22.
Yeah. And he's a good pick. He's a good pick.
And you're not going to pick Bruno because he's a scumbag dad.
To avoid picking the same brain cell, I have a backup pick here as well. So,
well, let's hear it then.
So my pick is N, who, speaking of at least 22, I think he is actually 22, and you even get to go on a date with him in Black and White, which is great. And he's such a sweetheart. He'd treat you right.
He does try to convert you to eco-terrorism, but we'll ignore that.
It's okay. He believes in it.
So?
And from his point of view, he's right. The fact that he's been groomed to think that way and serve as a fake figurehead is something you can work through, you know?
No, not really.
It's something you work through together.
No, not really. You're not gonna... This is exactly what happened with Joker and Harley Quinn. You think you can fix him, but no, he just corrupts you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if it makes Gen 5 sequels better, cool. So, yes, before we get into our list proper, do you have any honourable mentions?
My honourable mention is Rhyme.
Ah, yes. The cooler of the Rhyme and Time twins.
I mean, I know they're both equally attractive, but yeah, Rhyme is so much cooler. The reason why she's only an honourable mention is because I put a rule on myself that I didn't need to put on myself, but I did anyway, and that is I tried to pick only one character per gen.
Okay.
And also, I acknowledge that Rhyme ticks a lot of boxes that are very unique to me, so there'll be plenty... If this video ever gets popular, I'm sure there will be plenty of people in the audience going, why? You know? And it's like, fucking... I can give you 2 reasons why. 1, look at her. 2, listen to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, she's very definitely the most memorable gym leader from all of Gen 9. And if it weren't for your rivals and the villain, as it were, probably the most memorable character.
Oh, no, I don't think she's even close to memorable character, because Larry exists.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Clive.
Oh, what's his fake name? I've forgotten.
Yeah, Clive.
Is that his fake name? Oh, yeah, because it's like Professor fucking whatever the fuck, isn't it, normally? Clavel.
Yeah, it's like Director Clavel. Yeah, I'm Clive.
Yeah. I so wished that the twist was that Clive was a real person, because that would have been really funny.
Oh, yeah, it would have been great, wouldn't it?
Oh god, and it's not like it's a thing Pokemon hasn't done before.
Yeah, it's great. Like Jezebel is like Jessie, but with bigger boobs and like with a southern accent. Turns out she's not actually Jessie. She's just a person who looks exactly like her, and is why James never gets with Jessie, because he's traumatized.
But yeah, who is your honourable mention?
So I also set myself some rules. I set myself people of age, and I bumped one person down from my top 5 list because of the same rule as you. So the people not of age are Aerie and Nimona, and
just very quickly, you mentioned this briefly before we started recording, and my exact words were, Nimona, I could see an argument being said that she is of age. I think she's on the questionable spectrum. If you think she's less than 18, then she is. If you think she's older than 18, she is. She really could be either side of that coin.
Yeah, because of her personality, it doesn't really matter what age she is, because she just acts like a huge schoolgirl that's Goku.
We call that mild autism.
Yes. Whereas Aerie is an even huger schoolgirl. She is possibly the most huge schoolgirl, and would give you the bestest of hugs. The honourable mention that I bumped down from my actual top 5 list for the same reason as you, picking one from each gen, is Melanie from Sword and Shield, specifically from Shield.
Yeah, big old titty waifu in the flesh. Like, Melanie is Big Tits McGee.
Yes. And the main reason I bumped her down is because I don't have Shield, so I've only ever seen the fan art.
Yeah, the fan art, it's very weird because she dresses very conservatively in the game. However, she has definitely got massive tits.
Yeah. Partly because her name is Melanie and they knew what they were doing. But yeah, there's she's definitely packing underneath that.
Also a certified MILF.
Oh, yes. But yeah, we'll get into the actual top 5 list. Who's going to be your number 5?
Alrighty, number 5 is the character I alluded to you the other day, Rick, where I said, I think she might be 16. I did some research. She's in her 20s. We're good.
Yeah.
She's from the anime. She is, of course, the iconic Jessie.
Yes. She's great. She just didn't make it onto my list just because I tried to go with the games. But yeah, talk about someone who just grows on you the more time passes.
I think you'll find, sir, that Jessie is in Pokemon Yellow.
Okay, but she's only in Yellow because of the games.
She's only in Yellow because of the games.
I mean, because of the animes. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, sure, but she's in a game.
Sure, true. I think she's also in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and they've got like even better models. It's great.
I should hope so, because the original game is from like 1996. Maybe slightly later, because it's Yellow. I don't remember. I don't remember the exact release dates of games. That's not my brand of tism.
Yeah, like top of my head. Yeah, around that time. Later, a little bit later, but yeah.
But yeah, I like Jessie. Jessie might have been like. I know people like to make the joke of thinking Misty's kind of hot when you're 10 and first watch Pokemon. I always thought Jessie was kind of hot, and Jessie was that gateway drug to the hentais.
Yeah, she got the long boots. She got the thigh gap. Yeah, she's yeah, the uniform is doing a lot of lifting there, and her personality.
Yeah, she's it's weird, isn't it? Because she straddles that line of she could be really caring and sweet, but most of the time she's a massive bitch, and it should turn you on, but it does.
Oh yes. some of us have a formative type.
The only downside of liking Jessie is when you look up hentai of Jessie, almost all of it is her getting fucked by either Ekins, Arbok, or Lickitung.
Yeah, she's getting drilled by one of her snakes or James.
James never gets drilled. He's usually the one getting drilled.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I didn't pick Grusha, James probably would have been my husbando, because he's a bottom.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But I digress. Rick, who gets your number 5 spot?
My number 5 spot, and it's probably going to annoy you because of how low she is, it's Rika.
That does bother me. It bothers me a lot. Bothers me a lot more than it should.
And she's an incredibly adorable person. She immediately triggered neurons when she showed up. I'm like, ooh, hello. She's like, yeah, you don't hit me.
Sorry, again.
She's like, don't hit me because I'm beautiful. I know it.
She immediately activated the spider sense of every lesbian in the world.
Oh, yes. She is top lesbian.
I don't associate voices with certain sexualities, but apparently it's a thing in Japan. And when she got her voice in the anime, everyone who's an anime nerd was like, they gave her the lesbian voice. Ah! I'm like, is that what lesbians sound like? Okay.
Well, I suppose it's a bit like giving her a gay lisp, or in an English dub or something, which is, mostly for men.
Yeah, I get it. There are stereotypes in every culture. I just didn't know Japan had one.
Yeah. And, it's just so people know, I'm not only a boob fiend, I am also a boob fiend, which is why Rika has ranked higher than Melanie, who she bumped off the list by her existence. So who's going to be your number 4?
My number 4 is Fantina.
Ah, yes. In our version, she's French. In Japan, she's English.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. She's the maths lady who does ghost Pokemon.
Yeah, she does do ghost Pokemon. I'm gonna out myself as a bit of a freak here, Rick, and for that I can only apologise. 9/10 of the reason as to why she's on my list and why she's not even at the bottom of my list is because I'm a bit of an armpit weirdo.
Okay, and yeah, she does like lift up her hand in that in her sprite.
She is targeted towards this. Every single artist draws her like that. And she's got the French foo-foo accent. It ticks so many boxes. And also, what's your alternative from this generation? I'm not picking the fucking fighting gym leader. She's 12.
Yeah, well, I do have a pick from this generation coming up.
Yeah, it's Cynthia, right?
Yeah, it is.
Cynthia's good too, and there's a lot of armpit shit with her, but like Fantina just does it better. And I don't know, it feels a bit more niche with Fantina. I feel like she gets looked over a lot, and I can't blame people for looking over any gym leader in this generation because Cynthia is fucking top tier.
Yeah, she is.
However, I've already spoilt the fact that she is not on my list as I've picked one per generation.
Mm-hmm.
So Rick, let's hear it. Who's your number 4?
My number 4 is going right back to the beginning. It's Lorelei, the ice type lady from Gen 1.
Jeez, that's she's Elite 4, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Because ice types were seen as being kind of special. They saved her for later, and yeah, she's very adorable. She is my type incarnate. She's possibly maybe the origin of me liking girls in glasses, and in the anime she is very bodacious.
Oh yeah, I vaguely recall that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but like I don't remember there being any pure ice types apart from Articuno. Oh no, even that wasn't a pure ice type. It would have been ice flying. That's ice flying. Like almost all of them are ice water. Yeah, like Dugong and Cloyster are the two that come to mind.
Yeah, Dugong, Cloyster, Lapras is the big one.
Oh yeah.
And then there's Articuno and Jinx.
Is Jinx ice psychic?
And that's it.
Or...
Yes, ice psychic. And then that's it from Gen 1.
Yeah. But it's a bit of a shit
and
type.
Gen 2,
but then again,
all they had is like Swinub.
I was gonna say ice was a bit lacking, but then you look at dragon types in Gen 1.
Yeah, and dragon types in Gen 2, how many got added in Gen 2? 1, it was Kingdra.
Yeah, and that's the only change to Lance's team between both games.
Yeah, well, they give him a Charizard.
No, they don't. They give him that in the remakes. Not in.
He's got it in Gold and Silver.
No, he doesn't.
It might be Crystal that he has it, but he's definitely got a Charizard in his Elite Four fight in Gen 2.
I can promise you he doesn't. I looked this up on Bulbapedia last night, and I can't look it up right now because I'm having internet problems.
But yeah, Lorelei is on my number 4. Who's going to be your number 3?
My number 3 is the first and only Pokemon champion on my list. You know it's not Cynthia. Who do you reckon it is?
Well, it's not Iris. It could technically be Professor Sada, but nah, it's gonna be what's her face, Diantha.
Yeah, it's Diantha. She is she's mature. We'll put it that way. She knows what she's about. She's a movie star. I don't really care about that aspect of her character, and neither does the game, really.
No.
If I recall correctly, doesn't she give you like the Mega Stone for Gardevoir?
I think she does, yeah. Once you become the champion, you just like track her down and she's like, oh yeah, Mega Gardevoirs, I think. Yeah, you've seen mine. Here, have your own.
Yeah. Also, like that Elite Four is just very good. Actually, I think I broke my rule. I think I accidentally put two characters from the same game back to back. Whoops. But I had to put Diantha in. She's just hot, and she dresses like a fairy. It's so odd.
Yeah, not only does she dress like a fairy, she dresses like a Mega Gardevoir.
It's so odd.
Yeah, because there's also a fairy gym leader in that game.
And she dresses like she's from space.
Yeah, she does.
which kind of makes sense, given Clefairies, but...
Yeah, but she's got like massive black eyes, like she's a grey.
Yeah, I don't know how people can find that character No, I do know how people can find that character attractive. There's some fucking weirdos on the internet. I'm one of them. Just not that brand of weirdo.
Yes. Yeah. Diantha never really did it for me, but you do you.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that I put her on the list given my next slot, which is way better and from the same gen, and I fucked up my own rule without even realising it.
It's okay, you can replace her with Professor Sada instead if you like.
I'm not going to do... I can't. One, I can't, because there's another character on my list from that game, and two, Sada doesn't actually do it for me. Like, before the game came out, yeah, Sada was Unga Bunga Professor and everyone was going nuts, and then when you get to the story and you're like, no.
Yeah. When all you had was her looks, then Snoo Professor is fantastic, but yeah, she's not that. She doesn't behave that way, and that's probably the reason that she's not on my list.
Speaking of your list, though, we're on number 3 for you, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm going with Sonia / Professor Sonia from Sword and Shield.
Yeah, she's a good one.
Yeah, she is. She's very cute, and you see her growth as the game goes on, as she goes from being just a research assistant who's tailing you around and simping over Leon to actually becoming the professor of the region, because the actual professor of the region doesn't matter.
Yeah, the actual professor's like... The entire interaction you see between her and Sonia is, bitch, I want to retire, can you just step the fuck up?
Yeah, step the fuck up, and then once you do, you can have this lab coat. There you go.
She does look good in that lab coat, though.
She does. Like, she looks good in with and without. I like that design. I think redheads in green / turquoise are a fantastic look, and she's very adorable when she plays with her hair, you know?
I get you.
When she's, like, doing a think, it's great.
Yeah, there are a lot of people in Sword and Shield who deserve a nod. I know Nessa is incredibly popular, but I think, honestly, if I had to pick someone from Sword and Shield, it would be Oleana.
Yeah, I think the only reason I don't pick her is because she's a massive bitch.
She's only a massive bitch because she's got an incompetent boss, and as someone who works retail, I can relate.
Yeah, fair enough.
The only downside... Listen, if Pokemon was ever an 18, you know for a fact Oleana would just bitch when she's Pokemon battling you, saying, I've had to suck dicks for this guy.
Not even his dicks, just other people's dicks because of how shit he is.
Yeah, to stop them from suing the shit out of him.
Yeah, yep.
No, I can't take you to court. Would you like to fuck my personal assistant? And they get one look and they go, I would like to do that, yeah. And because in this universe the Republicans are in charge, they can get away with that shit.
Yeah. But yes, that's my number 3. Who's going to be your number 2?
Yeah, number 2 is the name I realise is from the exact same gem as Diantha, and it's Drasna.
Yeah, she's even from the Elite Four.
I know. I put Drasna on my list before I put Diantha on my list. Diantha was very much like, oh yeah, Diantha's hot, I'll put her on, and I didn't even think of the rule I set myself. So yeah, I'm really fucking annoyed. Yeah, Drasna's fucking hot. She is approaching GILF territory.
Yes, she is. And she's a dragon specialist. She wears the Unga Bunga necklace, which is pretty cool, like all the dragon fangs and all that.
Yeah, like I have no doubt that if you propositioned her, you would get a full blown ara.
Yeah, she's a good one. I like her. She's cool.
Like the only character who rivals this as far as ticking my boxes in Pokemon games is Rhyme.
Yeah. And specifically Rhyme, not Time, because Time is stuck up and Rhyme is the rebel, and we like the rebels.
I know. Again, I've got no problem with Time. It's just Rhyme is so much better.
Yeah, she's so much of a cooler character.
And they're twins, so like it's not like it's a look thing.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
But yeah, let's get to the crux of things, Rick. Who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Olivia from Sun and Moon. She's basically an updated version of Lorelei, who every time she loses, she buys another plushie. Olivia buys plushies because she doesn't have a husband and she can't get a husband, which is really adorable. But also, she is rather buff.
I'm laughing at this entry because you bring Olivia up on the podcast a surprising amount of times.
Yeah, it's the 2 nickels thing, but like it's more than twice.
Like you remember, like not too long ago, in fact, it might have even been the last retrospective. I said, not even a retrospective, it was the Rumbles, which aren't out yet, where I said this is the year of Anna Anaconda, and you were like, you started pissing yourself laughing. Is this once again?
Yeah.
I'd say this is the year of Olivia, but it's always the year of Olivia in your mind.
Oh, it's always the year of Olivia. The year of Olivia and the year of Angela Anaconda, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That being said, the audience has got a real treat because I've laughed like 5 times at the at the Daniels fiasco where you said Anthony Daniels and my reaction was, what, the wizard?
Paul Daniels.
Oh, do I hear 5? But yeah, you were singing Olivia's praises.
Yeah, she's incredibly good looking. She even manages to. She's the only trial captain who. Actually, no, she's not, because I think what's her face becomes a Elite Four member as well. The really cute ghost kid. But she's a trial captain who becomes an Elite Four member in Sun and Moon. She gets bounced off to make way for someone else, which, man, shame. But yeah, a rock type specialist who is not just about big beefy rock types that just do no damage and take no damage. She has lichen rocks. It's great.
Yeah, so it's very unfortunate that she's from Sun and Moon, because I actually played Sun and Moon. None of the characters in that game are memorable, and I blame it entirely to the fact that there's no gyms.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of characters on that game that are memorable, and I'm pretty sure one of them might even have a chance of being your number 1.
No.
Okay. I made a prediction, and my prediction was false.
Oh,
okay.
I know who you're thinking of. You're thinking of Lusamine, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I should have replaced Diantha with Lusamine, but I don't. Yeah, my brain failed me.
Yeah. So who's going to actually be your number 1? Who's not Lusamine?
Oh, my number 1's already been mentioned, Rick. It's Rika.
Yeah.
Like, she is so fucking hot. She is so fucking cool. Every time you interact with her is awesome. There's that really fun moment in the second DLC where she gives you a bollocking.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. It's great. Rika just feels like the kind of person who would just like, she'd be the one bridal carrying you, and then she'd stroke your hair while she pegs you.
No, I think, here's the thing, is I think she gives off that suaveness, but I think that she'd be a real, cuddle bunny in bed.
Yeah. Top on the streets, bottom in the sheets.
Yeah, that tracks. I've seen some really adorable fan art about basically implying that the Elite Four is basically a family, apart from the weird dragon guy. Larry and Rika are actually married, and Peppy or Poppy or whatever name is their kid, and I'm like, oh, that's adorable. It's not true, but it's adorable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like that. That's really cute. And Hassel's the grandpa, really. Yeah.
all the adult art I've seen of Rika is cool. There's a lot of artwork of her being a dominant lesbian, which is awesome. But the artwork that isn't that is still pretty cool. There's a lot of her. Everyone seems to agree that she must have nipple piercings.
Yeah, absolutely. Like she's got like 2 ear cuffs.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah, like you don't get like 2 ear cuffs on one ear without having other piercings elsewhere.
Yeah. And she always whines when you tug them.
Not because it's painful, just because everybody tugs them, and the more they get tugged, the longer they get.
No, it's not even that. It's literally just the fucking. It's now a super erogenous zone.
Yeah, right.
And also, like, one of my favourite fan arts of Rika isn't even adult in nature. It's her with her clodsire, and the clodsire is in a sink covered in suds, and Rika is washing it, going, "Who's my little stinky baby?" And it's so fucking funny.
Like, Rika is possibly the reason that I would want a big old Clodsire plushie just as like a hug thing, because I've seen so many pictures of her just going, ooh, yeah, big hug.
Yeah, I adore Clodsire. I think Paldean Wooper sucks because it just looks like a Wooper covered in shit. But Clodsire is fucking adorable looking and was a mainstay of my team until I got something cooler. But that was a long time in my team, that was.
Yeah, Clodsire is so cool. I like it.
I can't think of many other poison ground types off the top of my head. Well, apart from the obvious.
Yeah, it's the Niddos. I think it is just the Niddos.
Nidoking, Nidoqueen. There must be another one we're forgetting.
Yeah, most likely, but it's not Nidoking, it's not Nidoqueen, it's not Clodsire. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I'd pick Nidoqueen any day because I think Nidoqueen's design rocks, but Clodsire is very cute.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
All right, Rick, we already know the answer because we spoiled it earlier, but who's your number one?
It's Cynthia, and I pick her over Lusamine because she's not a massive bitch.
Yeah, Lusamine gets better, but the entire time you know her, she is a cunt.
Yeah. Man, Lusamine getting possessed by the jellyfish. Ooh. But yeah, Cynthia is both incredibly powerful and iconic and good looking and swoon worthy. Yeah, she's the top champion in Sinnoh, and she's possibly maybe the top champion of pretty much all time in the fans' eyes as well. She's possibly the first and only time I've...
Go on, sorry.
I think she's the first and only time I've actually struggled with a champion fight.
I think in canon, the Sword and Shield guy is meant to be the best.
Yeah, he is. Actually, I struggled with him when I was underleveled, when I made myself underleveled, because it's incredibly easy to have level 100s in Sword and Shield.
If you fight that geezer in the battle tower, he's actually incredibly difficult.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's actually got a very good team, and I'm like, fuck. And you're a roadblock at this level, so you have to fight him at this level every time.
Yeah, and you have to do that to unlock, like, mints or something stupid.
Yeah, it's definitely something to do with IVs and EVs, because that's the only reason I do the battle tower, because the battle tower sucks.
Yeah, it does. Although you do get to hear the Toby Fox music.
It's not enough.
Yeah. But speaking of music, Cynthia has a fantastic champion theme, to the point that just that piano intro is enough to give nerds PTSD.
I kind of get it. I will say as well, I do appreciate them bringing back the champion as a bro trope with Cynthia. Like, she's very much like Lance from 1, well, not Lance from 1, Lance from 2, where she'll just show up during important plot shit and be like, hey, why don't you go in that building over there?
Yeah, here's a potion to make all these Psyduck fuck off.
Oh god, Psyducks must be a problem in herds.
They are.
They do move in herds.
Oh, yeah. Who had Jurassic Park reference on our bingo card for today?
Quite frankly, I think it's a miracle neither of us have mentioned any unforgivable porn. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I did say I had essentially a second hypothetical. My hypothetical that only makes sense after the list is, who on your list could you most see yourself actually living with?
I mean, Rika.
Yeah.
Discounting Rika just for funsies, it would actually be Drasna. Like, she'd look after me.
Yeah, I get you. I like that one. Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'd absolutely adore living with Fantina, but like, there'd be a language barrier, and she'd probably hit me.
Yeah, unless you move to Japan, in which case she speaks English.
That's not how that works, Rick. Oh god, I wish that's how it worked. That would be awesome. It's just like, you speak French? Okay, there's a language barrier. Let's move to Japan where everyone's languages get switched. Except me speaking English means I'd then speak Japanese, but with that weird accent from the east.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. That's why Bakura's got a fucking English voice in the American dub, is because in the original he's got the Kansai accent.
Okay, usually Kansai is they usually localize that as like a southern bumpkin from America.
Well, he's got a weird accent in Japanese, so they made him British.
Yeah. Cool.
But go on, what's your answer?
My answer is Sonia, because like she just looks like the kind of person and feels like the kind of person who would really treat you right and would respond well to being treated right. And I don't know, I just have a real soft spot for her.
I get you, man.
But yes, our other question is, from my top 5 picks, do you have a favourite?
I mean, yeah, because she was the top of my list.
Yeah. Yeah, Rika. Yeah, good shit.
Like, I can't argue for any other character on your list. Like, Cynthia gets big ups, don't get me wrong, but like, it's going to be Rika, I'm afraid.
Yeah, fair enough. I think in the spirit of truth, I think Rika is also my favourite on your list. So.
What a great
so that
question.
was a bust question. Oh well, what a bust. What a great
cup.
Yeah. I guess that's coming to the end of today. If you liked the video, there's the comment section down below on YouTube and on Spotify. Tell us what your favourite Poke Waifus are, in brackets, human.
That's a clarification only Rick needs.
Yes, because, Gardevoirs is there. And tell us why we're degenerates. It's always fun when people call us out on our things that we just, like, blatantly wear on our sleeves. If your comment is insightful or funny enough, we will read it out. If you don't have the comment section, you've got the email, which is
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Don't forget, don't ask us any questions or post any comments that you wouldn't read out in front of potentially millions of people.
Yes. Currently about 63.
64, we got 2 more.
Oh, sweet. But yes, that's going to be it from us. Goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me. Join us next week for our end of year review.